heard some of the tips about franchising and how to become a franchisee, I think that we're going to have a little bit of a talk with my mom, who's had 20 years of experience with Fishman PR, along with my dad. So, Mom, what is one of the necessities that every franchisee needs to be successful?
Well, a franchisee must possess the desire to follow a system, someone who really takes rules seriously, because the system is just the center point of a franchise, and that's why veterans are such great franchisees.
What is one of the warning signs that you should not invest in a franchise?
Well, the first thing you need to do is, first of all, whenever you invest in anything, you need to make sure you do your homework. And in due diligence, before you invest in a franchise, you need to speak to franchisees in the system, because that is really the key to finding out if it's going to work. Validation through the peers within the franchise community, and also look at their FDD, which is their document, to make sure that they're not in too many lawsuits. Cover yourself and protect yourself before you invest.
Now, can just anyone off the street own a franchise, or do you need to be a specific type of person?
You know what? Anybody. It depends on what the cost of the franchise is. I mean, if you have a low-cost franchise, you can be a franchisee just graduating from high school. It just depends if you qualify according to the franchisor's model, and if you don't have the money, if you can get a loan, which is the hardest thing right now, is getting money.
Now, we've learned a little bit about corporately owned franchises and just franchises that are controlled by franchisees. So, what I was wondering is, and what everybody's probably wondering is, which one is better?
Well, there's not, a matter of better or worse. Well, corporately owned units, for instance, Einstein Brothers Bagels, we represent them as a company. They have corporately owned and franchise owned. What I suggest always, and I always think is the best balance, is to have some corporate owned, where you have more control, you're actually getting more money out of them, but you have to operate them. You have to make sure the employees are there. There's a higher cost to actually run them and operate them. That's why franchising is all about. It's on your own but not alone. So the franchisor is letting the franchisee run it, and all they get from it is royalty payments. But the whole idea of the system is for them to have a consistent brand. So branding is the same on the franchise units, and branding is the same on the corporate units.
I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine.
Just growing up in our house, I've learned the term franchisable. It's been coined by both Dad and you. What makes something franchisable?
I've asked that question all the time. What makes something franchisable? It's really not a word, but we make it a word in the industry. Something that's franchisable is a brand that can be replicated, and it can be the same, and everyone compares it to like a McDonald's. One that is in Sioux City Falls can be the same thing as the McDonald's in Northbrook, Illinois. It's one that has a system that can be followed and can be replicated, and it also provides a support mechanism so franchisees do well, and they stick to their marketing, and they stick to everything that is within the franchise message.